class we dedicated towards the assignment, and in another class we dedicated towards the theory. So the double periods on Monday, we are covering theory. And the single periods like these ones, mostly what we want to cover is the assignment bit. Now I need to be honest with you and tell you part of the challenge that you guys will have is because you didn't do a lot of assignment-based assessments in your first year. That simply means that there must be a transition, a period where you're now learning to write. And I'll be very honest with you, writing is a difficult art. Okay, so what's one of the things that happens when you undermine the art of writing? 2 weeks or a week before the assignment is due, you end up cutting and pasting from the internet. Let's also challenge a phenomenon that exists amongst us to actually think writing is based on the quantity that you submit. So how thick a document is, in your eyes you say, I've done very well. But it might not mean that. Okay? So don't get caught up in the challenge of quantity. What we're trying to get you to be able to do is to produce quality work that even if it's not 100 pages, 50 pages, but if it's good 10 to 15 pages of quality addressing the topic, addressed and adhering to the standards of the technical guidelines that you're expected to do, then we've done our part. But the challenge with students at this level is to think that no, it's about quantity, pumping a lot of material that's not relevant to the question being asked. So we're going to do two things today. I'm going to give you the assignment topic for today, not for today, but for the term. But what I'm also going to give you is something that I think is going to be helpful towards assisting you with academic writing. It's really a guide or a presentation which we want to go through in the first 30 minutes of this class to actually talk about why do we write, how do we write, in what way can writing benefit us as people. The register is circulating. Please only take a copy for yourself and pass down the rest. And then while we're at it, I'll give you an opportunity later on to be able to have a look at the assignment topic. And then, remember, each group must have 3 people. The person who is in charge of the group must then come to the office to come and register the names to say, we are this group, these are the group members. I don't want all of you coming to the office. Just the person who is in charge. I don't also want people to come to me and say, more coming. I don't want people to come to me and say, well, I prefer to do the assignment on my own. Well, there are only 2. You have to get into groups and you have to work as 3 individuals per group. Okay? If you can't find a group, well, that's why the exercise is there. You come to the office as well. I can't find a group, and I'm sure if there are people who can't find groups, you can always easily match them up together. I made about 140 of these, so they should be enough. They should be enough. If there are extras, please can I have them? And we want to go through this together. Okay. Any extras at the back? Okay, so this is a little guide that I think is going to help us to be better writers. Every week we'll be bringing in some material to try and help you. I think next week we'll try and pay attention to the technical issues around referencing. And referencing is everything, by the way. This is not an assignment where you can say facts or matters that you think are opinion and then you masquerade them to be facts. If it's a fact, let it be supported by a reference. Okay, have you all got this? Please keep this. Please read this. In fact, when you have your group meetings, please always have this on the side so that it's easy. Sometimes when you're in a group setting to get sidetracked by everything else, to say this should be the focus of what we're trying to achieve, okay? Right, so let's go through the tips and then I'll give you the assignment guide that we prepared. Okay, tip number 1, okay, to academic writing. Make sure you focus on the topic. Okay? Now, the brain is a beautiful thing. Okay? The brain is a beautiful thing so much that the brain can process things while you may not be aware of it. You know, while you're sleeping, your brain is at work. It happens a lot in academic writing. It is so easy to deviate away from the question that you are being asked and you start creating your own question. It has happened before. One year we gave students a question on stress. The next minute somebody starts writing something totally different to stress. So make sure as a group you hold each other accountable. I'm going to give you the assignment topic just now after this. Make sure you're saying, guys, let's be guided by the question that we're supposed to ask. Let's not deviate outside that. Let's be guided by that. And that's part of the challenge with academic writing. The necessity for focus, the necessity not to be driven away, but to focus on that which you're being asked. It says here, wordy, meandering treatises that address the topic only tangentially or fail to incorporate the materials are unlikely to impress professors at the university level. Wordy simply means that you are caught up in this idea of, I should just put in more information, but there's no processing of the information. What you're aiming to do is to try and think that you can impress whoever is assessing your work by the volume of text that you've produced, not so much by the quality of the material there. So the ability to focus directly on the specific topic is one of the most important writing challenges or skills that are needed. You need to master it so that you achieve a better good and a better mark. Go back to the question. What is the question? And let me also say to you, this also happens in the exam. Okay? In the exam, you would have studied. Okay? Nobody goes to the exam without studying. You would have studied, you get into the exam, and the question is asking there. But you're not sure. So what do? You formulate your own question. Because it's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay? You tell yourself every day, I'm the best thing that has ever happened to this world. And you start, and now it's different from positive talk, where you should motivate yourself. But this is the part where you say, I will not take any heed of any advice from everybody. I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And you walk around thinking that that's it. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're just appeasing and appreciating yourself when it could be on the contrary. Point number 2, are we together on point 1? So I've focused on the topic. Point number 2, sum it up. Most writing assignments can be significantly improved by including a short introductory paragraph identifying the issues to be discussed and a conclusion that provides a summary of the arguments and the topics contained in the paper. Now, why is this critical? What we've done this year, which is different from previous years, it's the first time we're doing this, we've made the assignment into a group assignment. Each of you in that group, 3 individuals, will have a question they will attempt that contributes to the overall assignment. You now need to master, because if you slacken up or slacken down, or you don't perform to the required standard, you're actually letting the team down. So part and parcel of it is to say, I am going to be working on my own, and then I will come to the group and say, guys, this is what I worked on, this is what I produced. And the group members must not be tempted to think that they're just going to accept what you've done, to say, this is the Bible that you've done. We can't debate. Usebenzi. And what you do, you guys just endorse and you put it together. The group members must be afforded the opportunity to sit down with what you've done and say, no, you've not done this correctly, or this is not clear, can you change that? That's part of what academic life is about. To be told that your work is not good enough, it must be improved. So we must have this ability to sum up there. Silence is golden. For many students, finding a quiet area to complete assignments can significantly improve the quality of their papers. This is more of a technical thing, of a tactical thing. That, guys, you're not going to do this with babes Wodumo playing in the background. Or, I know very well people put music and all of these things. You need to find a space where you're actually quiet to actually be processing and dissecting some of this. And the critical issue here, at least for me, is part of that space and time must be managed in view of the end date that we want, the due date. You can't do this a week before the due date, because if you do it, you're going to cost the other team members. You must start working now. So you as a group must have a meeting. The first meeting you must make is to say, we've got this end date. This is the date when the assignment is due. When can we expect a first draft for everybody? When can we meet to then critique what everybody has done? When can we then try and distill everybody's ideas and put it into a final document? When can we meet to actually now look at the final document and see if there are any problems in the final document? It's not going to happen a week before the assignment is due. You are setting yourself up as a group for failure if you do that. Playing to the audience. If the professor has expressed a strong opinion on the topic contained in the assignment, it is usually a good idea to at least pay lip service. Okay, so this is really a challenge which often happens where people don't critique what has been said. They think that what I have said, to be opinion or to be fact, is what is right. So you end up writing an assignment not based on debate and critique, but you're writing an assignment which is based on, we want to say what he wants to hear. Because if we say what he wants to hear, he'll be happy. If he's happy, then he'll give us more marks. So it's playing to the gallery, to the audience. Rather, the opportunity should be, we want to present facts, counter facts and counter arguments. That's what it's about. To say, what do you like most about this past week in Alice? Or what do you not like most? It has been a very hot week. And that's true. But a counter argument can be made today. It's quite cloudy. It's a better day than the previous days that we've had. So it's this one-sided way of seeing things, okay? You don't see the other side. When you see a topic, see it on the other side. And we're going to talk about the topic just now. Budgeting your time. Okay, we say more. Part of your test and part of your challenge, you've got, this is basically project management 101. You've got an start date, you've got an end date of the project. Part of the process is also appointing leaders, or each person in the group becoming a leader. Remember, I want the name of the group members to come to me between now and the next 2 weeks or so that we report the names. It's appointing those types of leaders. Accountability. Have you gone and registered our names? Are you a registered student? That's one question we should ask. There's no point with working with somebody who's not a registered student. Are you registered for the module? Okay, so budgeting your time becomes critical. Even students with exceptional writing skills need a certain amount of time to collect thoughts and compose ideas. Number 6, getting a second opinion. Getting a second opinion. Your roommates, your friends, even other staff members, but in this case, your second opinion lies in every member of the group. They must give an opinion. Please don't just accept what somebody has written to be fact. No. Allow that. What did you mean by this? Somebody writes something and you notice that in what they've written, the document is not completely solidly tight. Tell them what you mean. Using a style guide, we will operate with APA. Make sure you get the APA style guide. We're going to talk about that. The length matters, but at the same time, the quality also matters. And finally, keep on practicing, keep on practicing. That's how you become better. So that's the short presentation on academic writing. And I hope it helps as you start your journey to writing, not just in my module, but in the other modules that you're going to experience. Any questions? Then we go to the assignment. Any questions? No questions. They never ask questions, okay? Okay. I'm assuming we're clear? Okay, perfect. Now, the next thing